Back out here for what was going to be our last commercial run before we start charters. Only got the weather for an overnighter, but also only have about 800 kilos of mixed quota left to catch, so hopefully we can box a majority of that. We started out deep to see if the rubies were hungry before we looked for some goldband for the evening. We found some pretty average current, but it was still fishable. Oh yeah. Oh, flames want to see rubies. Got a flamey. What is that? Nah. See, here we go. It's fish. So this first one's a flame tail. That's not a ruby. It's pretty big for a flamey up here. Yep. This one is a luna tail. Big eye luna tail. It's no good, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, no good. Nah. And this one is, I think it's a pale ruby snapper. No, it might be that's a normal one.
Why those ones no good?
Just they don't buy them. Yeah, I think they're okay to eat, but no one knows what they are, so they don't buy them.
give it one more and then we'll try drifting.
Go back down.
Yeah, we'll give it one more.
We eventually had to concede defeat from the current, but did manage about 100 kilos of rubies to kick the trip off.
Cool. I assume the cod is long gone. So that's our big cod float. Whenever we're on anchor and we have a fish or normally a big cod pop off one of the lines, floating behind the boat, I chuck that in the water and it floats with the cod normally, and that thing's pretty easy to find later on. I think we're probably about 4 miles away from where we were fishing, and I found it pretty easily down Carrot. And we normally find the cod with it, but we left that one a bit long. I reckon that cod's long gone. So, but yeah, chuck that in, use it as a bit of a marker so we can find the fish typically.
We did still have a fair bit of pink snapper quota left, so we tried to target them on some bigger lumps the rest of the afternoon. We started looking for some goldband leading up to sunset, but it was not happening, with our first real sign of life coming a couple hours after sunset.
That's encouraging. That's encouraging. Gaff, gaff. Long gaff, long gaff. Oh, you're right, just if you can get it. Watch your back, long gaff. Oh, fuck. Yeah, long gaff, that one there.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Fuck. Fucker. That's a fucking horse too.
Nothing too amazing, we still had to fight the current for it. But if we kept it up, it looked like it was going to be enough to get the job done. But it wasn't going to be the case. Setting up anchor is often made that little bit harder when the current is running bad. Catching and pulling the rope down and sometimes under the boat. Nighttime makes this harder again, losing sight of the rope even sooner. And not wanting to waste any bite time, I pushed my luck a little far, and for the first time in my career, managed to get the anchor rope into the prop. A noise I'd never heard before, but I knew what had happened straight away. Got it out of gear straight away, but still managed to do a proper job of it. First priority was to get hold of the end of the rope that had the anchor attached to the ground, because we found ourselves anchored by the prop, and in a little bit of average weather, there was high potential to do more damage than may have already been done. Looping another line around the bow and down the stern where we could get a loop of the anchor rope end of the rope. Then we used the pot winch to pull that up, attached another rope to it and pulled the anchor through the pot winch. We quickly cut and spliced a new rope onto the anchor rope so it was long enough, and then dropped the pick again so it stopped us drifting. Then we had to work out what to do next. Using just a humble dolphin torch, I jumped in and had a look. I'd done a good job with a basketball-sized ball of rope around the base of the prop. But nothing looked damaged, so there was hope. And before any of the comments, yes, we do have a rope cutter on the prop, but I didn't think it would be much of a chance with the 16mm anchor rope. And we could do a lot of damage trying to find out. I was lucky that we had an air tank on board that we sometimes use to recharge the high Nordic controls, and I did have a hooker hose that we use on tanks to clean the boat and check on things under the water. So dolphin torch in one hand and knife in the other, and jumped in and got to work. It actually cut away pretty easy, and I was lucky the air ran out just before I got the last bit out, but still managed to get it finished. Started it back up, chucked it in gear, and to my relief it appeared no damage had been done. So back to work, but we should have quit while we were ahead. Not only had the fish shut right down, but I'd managed another first for my fishing career. Not really in the mood for filming at this point, and not being as careful as I should have been, likely to the frustration and exhaustion from the recent events. While unclipping a hook, a shark grabbed the line, ripping a hook into and then straight out of my hand. It could have been much worse, but it was definitely in need of a few stitches, that was for sure. So after wrapping that up and trying another drop or two just to be sure the fish weren't happening, I reluctantly called the night. At least for an hour or so before the sun came up anyway. The next morning we gave it another try with the time we had left before the weather arrived. Having to work for every kilo and still not really in the mood to film, so not much to share either, sorry to say.
Fucking dickhead. Yeah. How do they do it? In the dorsal fin. Every time.
Oh, chewy.
Chewy. No, it's a fucking barramundi.
Right, that does look like a chewy, that. What the fuck?
Yeah, they get the stripe across the face and everything.
That's fucking right.
See the horizontal lines on the body?
Yeah, yeah.
That's how you can tell it's what is a northern pearl perch.
Yeah.
So the pearl perch they get over east don't have those lines.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty damn average. Probably got 350 kilos in the box, which is a bit sad, but I mean, missed out on probably 6 hours of fishing last night, dealing with the rope and the prop, which is a bit shit. First time I've ever done that, and I doubt I'll be doing it again. I'll be a bit more careful from now on, but we're pretty damn lucky that we're able to get it out, so that was all good. And yeah, and then shortly after managed to put a hook, not only put a hook through my hand but rip it clean out as well, so I got a decent little gash there. Gonna drop into the nursing post and get some stitches in that before we start unload. But other than all that, it wasn't a too bad trip. Just wouldn't mind some more fish, but it's what it is. Well and truly paid for itself, and it's probably going to be our last one for quite some time. Starting charters next week, so bit crap to finish on low for the commercial season at this point, but it is what it is. Tell you what, I'm actually yeah, looking forward to charters, that's for sure. So but yeah, cheers for watching. See you next time.